Just joining. I was debating if I had to go get Ruby from outside, but I think we're good. Um, hey, I'm Sarah, and this is a place for people who are deconstructing or questioning their faith and want a place to chat and find community. Excuse me. If you're watching this back on a replay, hey, Confucius, good to see you. Hey, David. Hi, Kevin. Hi, Spark. Hey, Max. Hi. Happy Thursday, everyone. I just remembered there's this big important email I have to send. If anyone is still here when this live ends, remind me I have to send an email. Oh, my brain. Hi, Ekta. Hello, Josie. I hope everyone's having a good Thursday. Hi, Dr. Joe. Hello. Hopefully the app does not crash today. I guess I should knock on wood. Thank you, Cindy. To anyone who's new, hey, I'm Sarah. This is a place for people who are deconstructing their faith or questioning their faith. I'm sorry, Confucius. That's such a hard place to be, where you and your spouse are not in the same place with it. I'm sorry. That's really tough. Yeah, we definitely support you. Yeah, I'm sure it affects you both. Yeah. Hi, Em. Good to see you. Oh, well, hey there, Checkers. What you doing? Don't get out of there. No, you can't have that. Hi, Walt. Well, for anyone joining for the first time, I'm Sarah. Hi. Oh, Checkers is actually a bunny. Checkers, you want to come up here? Here, I'll show you. Oh, wait, she just went under the table. Hang on. Chex! I'll show you her as soon as she comes out from under the table, I promise. Hi, Absurdist. Come here. You want to come up? Oh, well, if you can see her. Can you see her? Sorry, when I tilt it like that, I can't see what you all are seeing. Well, I'm glad you all have a way to, to manage that, Confucius. That's encouraging. Oh, your dog's name is Megabit. Hello from Tennessee. Hi. Hi from Dallas. Checkers, you cannot drink that. Oh, no, I'm not co-hosting with Justin tomorrow. No. Oh, from Pakistan. Hi. Hi, Ireland. Checkers. Bad Bunny. Sorry. Oh, wow, Captain. Hey, Michelle. What are we talking about? So this is a place for people who are maybe questioning their faith or leaving their faith and want a place to connect. Tonight, we're talking about hell and how I don't think anyone deserves hell. Okay, we're gonna flip this over just a little bit so that followers can comment. So we'll keep the comments a little more focused on the topic at hand. Oh, that is awkward, absurdist. I mean, it is so interesting. I don't think Christians maybe realize how frequently Christianity shows up in public life. Hi from Puerto Rico. Yeah. Steven says we don't deserve consequences or we don't do bad things. So I think the fallacy there is is assuming that hell is the only possible consequence. But I think hell is a disproportionate consequence, and I support proportionate consequences. Yeah, I agree with you, Dr. Joe. It's interesting how many people make that jump, that just because I don't think you should suffer infinitely, that there should never be any consequences for anything. Hello from Thailand. That's a lot of words. I'm the dude. But to the end, can religion get bad people to do good things? It is possible, yes. I have had, rather horrifyingly, multiple people basically say, ask me, well, if you don't believe in hell, why don't you just go around doing terrible things all the time? And they go on to sort of explain that, well, yeah, the thing that keeps them from doing terrible things is their fear of hell. So, I mean, I think that would be the answer to that question. No, Marlik, Malurk. Goodness. You will not get in trouble for praising Doug. Stretch says hell is immoral. Yeah, I agree with you. Hey, Minnie. Hi, Jim. I'm vaguely familiar with Buddhism, not a lot familiar. Yeah, Paul, I agree with what you're saying as well, that religion can cause good people to do terrible things. Well, Kenneth, it's not only jail that keeps me from doing terrible things, also the fact that I don't want to do terrible things. Oh, Checkers came up to the couch to hang out. If you have not met Checkers yet, this is my little bunny rabbit, Checkers. Do you believe in talking to spirits? I don't. I don't believe in a spiritual realm. Ruby's actually sitting outside right now. She's on the porch. She loves to be outside. I'm gonna have to pull her in eventually, but she's on the porch. Hi, JS. Yeah, Doug is the name of a rock with googly eyes. What do I feed the bunnies? They mostly eat a special kind of hay, but then every morning and every evening they eat a little salad. Oh, yes, she definitely does. Timothy Hay, yeah. Hey, Rachel. Nice. Oh, you had a bunny too? Hi, Rational. Ekta says, some of us just want to live in a world where people look out for each other and punishment is exclusively for rehabilitation. God's disproportionate punishments are repulsive to me. Yeah. You know, this idea that we only like do good things because we want to avoid punishment is sort of the lowest level of moral development. But as moral development continues, you want to do good things because of the good consequences, because you want to create that version of the world. No painted mug today. Yeah. Hello from Florida. Hi. No, that bunny does not chew cud. J-Heart, I have an FAQ playlist, and one of the first videos is a whole video on why I no longer believe. Yeah, rational rocks are good for that. Nice, Ekta. Hi, Creed. I usually do them on Tuesday and Thursday evenings. Sky says, I'm still leaving in faith. What you mean you're still in the process of deconstructing? Hi from Pakistan. Well, then don't do irrational. Well, get it together, man. Mountain, I just stopped believing that it was true. And I have a longer video. I have a video in my FAQ playlist that gives you like the longer version of that. One of what chosen, Sky? I mean, Michelle, I think it's something we have to give ourselves compassion about. Belief is a weird, complicated thing. And I think every human being is capable of believing outrageous things. What do you mean, Muhammad? Progress how? Sky, I don't believe in God any longer, if that's what you're asking. Well, Marvin, I certainly am a fan of universal compassion, love, and kindness. Oh, thanks. Well, I mean, Muhammad, I do think that science and religion are often asking different kinds of questions. And so they don't have to be at odds. Thanks, Ekta. Yeah, Shane says being indoctrinated into the idea that I was inherently a reprobate worthy of condemnation really messed with my head for a long time, even after I stopped believing. Absolutely. Yeah, I can totally relate to that. Like, even when you stop believing in this particular God, sort of deprogramming that idea that you are inherently terrible it takes a long time and a lot of work. I do not believe that the devil is real. No. Still messes with my brain at 34. Yeah, I get it. It took me a long time to work through that, and I'll probably still be working through it on some level, you know? Albert says, the thing that snapped me out of religion at 15 was realizing that if I were born somewhere else, I'd be implanted with the beliefs of that place. Yeah, the statistics are pretty damning, in that location is the number one thing that predicts what religion you'll be. Hey, Francois. No, Confucius, they don't think they have to. Hi, Barry. I have read atheists who distinguish between belief and understanding. I mean, those two words do have different definitions. Are you maybe asking about like the agnostic atheist delineation? What do you believe will happen when we die? I think nothing. Like, I think we will just stop existing. Hi, Autumn. No, you're not late. Hey, Winter. Which says, since you don't believe in God or the devil, then what do you believe in? So I don't believe in anything supernatural. Hi, TKC. Alpha says religion comes after humanity. Oh, thank you, Daniel, so much for the super chat. I really appreciate it. Daniel says, I've seen you on Deconstruction Zone. Good work. Thank you. That's really kind. Do I pray for people? No. You don't want me to pray for people. Trust me. I don't believe in God, so it would not be meaningful or helpful for me to pray for people. Which says, what is your opinion on supernatural things caught on camera that can't be explained? Do you have an example? Well, Chris, I think with what you're asking is maybe like a word I would use is knowing versus believing rather than the word understanding. Because to me, the word understanding means like comprehension. But knowing to me is like accepting as fact or like having concrete evidence or something. So like, I think we're making the same distinction there. Is being an atheist easier to cope with than religion? No, not necessarily. I mean, in some ways, it's a lot harder. You don't have a built-in community, and what happens in your life is all up to you. You don't have a God looking out for you all the time. Men no more. Says, do we have a way in the community to make sure everyone who has SNAP or EBT gets fed next month? I want to make sure little kids aren't hungry. I do not. So like I don't have a built-in mechanism for that. Depending on the size of the area that you're in, like I have found going to your like city or town's just the government website, they often have a list of local places that you can volunteer at and donate to. So I'm thinking logistically, like donating to your local food banks and your local food pantries would probably be the most effective. Unfortunately, yeah, I don't have a mechanism to do that. Yeah, I believe you, Autumn. Well, if there are things you need from us, Autumn, you let us know. Oh, thank you, Captain Hammer. I appreciate that. Raging asks, what's your explanation as to why millions of people say they have a personal experience with God? So I do think there is something in our physical brain that allows us to have transcendent experiences. People of all religions report these types of experiences, and even non-religious people, people who maybe do some really intense meditation or when you consume certain substances. And the vast majority of people who are saying they have, you know, interacted with God, that experience has just happened inside their head. You know, the vast majority of people are not saying that they visually saw God or they audibly heard him. And so, given that it's things that are happening within inside your brain, I think we can come up physiologically explain why we're capable of having those kinds of experiences. Yeah, Daniel says it's also harder to live in a world with people who think you literally cannot be moral if you don't believe in their religion. Winter says, I've thought about it and I'm not sure if I've ever had a mystical experience. Maybe I'm just not capable of it and I've yet to have one, or maybe I didn't register as one. I mean, I do think that it comes a lot easier to some people than others. And I think there's huge variation in how easy it is to have those kinds of experiences. Oh, Michelle, she's taking physiology. I love that. Me, never. Oh, I'm so glad she's enjoying it. That's awesome. What exactly is physiology? Sure, it's the study of how the body works. So anatomy is like just, you know, learning what everything is, and then physiology is learning the systems of how all those parts interact. Yeah, when you're really wrapped up in music, in art, you can have that sort of transcendent experience. You know, not everyone experiences it, but definitely art can do it. Oh man, Mavis, that's a pretty rough amount of proof. That's awesome that you liked physiology too. What about like oxytocin? Yeah, I mean, oxytocin is going to increase those feelings of connection and attachment. So certainly that would make sense. Yeah, it's like an endless study. We are certainly always learning. And as you know, many people will attest, yes, your human body is super complex. Hi, Marduk. Hi, Mike. Well, thanks, Autumn. started, really cool. What kind of music, Marduk? Well, Menno, I mean, anyone who understands the Krebs cycle is doing well. Thank you, Confucius. I appreciate it. Have a good night. Nice. That's cool. Bumba says, whenever God steps in as the creator, isn't that taking away free will? Yeah, it's I mean, it's an interesting conundrum, I think, for the Christian perspective. Like when you're praying for God to intervene, are you praying for God to violate someone else's free will? What's your stance on the idea that religious music in church causes the transcendental experience that reinforces believers that they're being touched by God? I can only speak kind of from my personal experience. Like, Protestants, especially non-denominational Protestants, do this really differently than like Catholics or Orthodox, or even like some of the other kind of high church Protestants like Anglicans. In non-denominational and other Protestant areas, it's like the music is very contemporary, and it's definitely designed specifically to get a big emotional response. And so it can certainly make you feel like God is talking to you, because it's, the songs are selected in a way to evoke that emotion. And I think with the more high church experiences, connecting to the ritual, the way that even the materials that things are made of, the instruments that are creating the music, the kind of ancientness is also kind of doing that same thing, but through a different mechanism. It feels precious and holy, because of, again, how it's designed to feel. Chris, so I didn't abandon my belief in God. When you use that word, it makes it sound like it was a choice. But I actually wanted to keep believing in God and was just like physically unable to do it. Yeah, Bumba says, with my free will, I will choose to go to heaven. Simple as that. Base is covered. Is it, Chris? Yeah, Captain. I mean, music is incredibly powerful to evoke emotions, to make you feel a certain way. Yeah, hugely powerful.